Good morning, students. So today we are going to revise chapter 4 of our NCERT book, and that is reproductive health. So students, what we are going to study in this chapter? First of all, we are going to study about what do you mean by the term reproductive health? What are the problems we face in maintaining a reproductive healthy society? What are the strategies or plans that are adopted by our government to implement reproductive health in our society? We are also going to study about population explosion. What are the various birth control options that are available to maintain a healthy family or a family of appropriate size? We will also study about the medical termination of pregnancy, the various types of the contraceptive methods, what are the sexually transmitted diseases, and in the last, I am going to tell you about a very important concept, and that is infertility. We will study about the various techniques of in vitro fertilization. So let's start our chapter, student. So here one poster is visible to you. You are well familiar with this poster. Say no to sex determination. So whenever you visit an hospital, there one board is lying in front of the hospital, and it is written that here no sex determination tests are done in this hospital. So these sex determination tests are actually related with the cases of female feticide. You know that in our society, some people, they do not want the females to take birth, and they are doing these illegal sex determination, and because of this, the ratio of the sex between male and female, that goes on declining in our society. So there is a technique that is amniocentesis, and we are also going to study about this technique, that how this technique is later become a problematic method, because so many people, they are taking advantage of this technique for determining the test of the fetus, and in the early age they try to kill the fetus if the child is later going to convert into a girl child. Okay, student, in the beginning of the chapter, in the introduction, first of all, we will study about the definition of the reproductive health. So students, if we simply define the reproductive health, then it means when your reproductive organs, they are working healthy, and they do not have any kind of malformations, malfunctionings. They are functions normally in your body. You can say that you are reproductively healthy. So this means if you have healthy reproductive organs with normal function, that means you are reproductively healthy. In the broader term, we can call reproductive health means it includes the social, emotional, as well as the mental well-being of the person. The person should be free from any sort of diseases. The person should be free from any kind of mental tensions, ailments, anxiety, and the person also have a healthy rapport with each and every member of the society, then we called that person a totally reproductive healthy person. And what is the definition that is given by World Health Organization? So World Health Organization has given a broader definition of reproductive health, that reproductive health means a total well-being in all aspects of reproduction. That is, physically the person should be healthy, emotionally, as well as the person should also show a healthy behavior, a healthy rapport, a healthy interaction with other members of the society as well as his own family. The person should have a special bond, a special rapport with the members of the society. So if he covers all the four aspects, that is physical, emotional, behavioral, and social, you can call that person as a reproductive healthy person. Yes, students. So India is the first country who has initiated various action plans and programs to tell the people that they should have an appropriate family size so that they are able to meet their financial needs. They can satisfy the requirements of their family. So different plans and programs are initiated by the Indian government. The first family planning program was initiated in the year 1951 by the Indian government after Indian independence. So earlier it is named as family planning program, and later on there are certain modifications done in this program, and now this program is named as a reproductive and child health care program, and it is currently in operation by our government. So how here I am going to discuss the objectives of this reproductive and child health care program. The student first objective is creating awareness among people about the various reproduction related problems, that there are certain problems which are related with reproduction. So that should be known to the people. If their reproductive organs, they have certain defects, they are not working properly. If they have some sort of sexually transmitted diseases, they should know about the symptoms. So people should be aware about these reproduction related problems. The second one is the government should provide facilities and support for building up a reproductive healthy society. Then there should be proper facilities and infrastructure in the hospitals so that the demands of this reproductive health can be satisfied. Proper medical aid should be provided to the people of the cities as well as the villages. So many health centers, they are opened in the villages for the well-being of people to maintain their reproductive health. The third objective is providing audio visuals and print media to various government and non-governmental organizations. So many government and non-governmental organizations, they are creating awareness among the people about the reproductive health with the help of audio visual aids, with the help of certain print media. Various posters about the family size is generally mentioned in the newspapers. Various advertisements, they are there in the televisions, in the radios, in audio form, so that people should aware that what is the appropriate size of their family, how many children they have to bear, and if they have more children in their family, then what are the disadvantages to them? How can they satisfy the financial needs of these children? So all of these things, they should be known to them. Then educating people and provide right information to save them from myth. So there are so many myths prevalent in our society. There are so many illegal people who are spreading this kind of myth related with reproduction among our adolescents. They are misguiding our adolescents, children of teenage. So these children should have enough knowledge about the reproductive changes that are happening in their body during the adolescent age. So we should have to educate people about the various types of myth, that means sex related crimes, illegal sexual acts that are taking place in our society. People should be aware about that. Next one is providing proper education about the reproductive organs to the children of adolescent age, and what are the problems, what are the changes that are taking place in the body of the adolescent, that should be known to them. And safe and hygienic sexual practices, awareness related to that should be disseminated in the adolescents so that they should not met with any kind of sexual crimes. They should have a proper knowledge about the hormonal changes that are taking place in their body during the adolescent age, and how they can maintain safe and hygienic sexual practices during their adult age. That should be known to them. Next one is providing information regarding sexually transmitted disease. So this kind of information should be provided to the people of middle age, adolescents, teenage, that if they are having sexual relationships with so many multiple partners, then there is a high risk of sexually transmitted diseases, which generally spread with the body fluids such as AIDS, hepatitis, and other kind of sexually transmitted disease like syphilis, gonorrhea. What kind of symptoms that are appeared in the body of the patient during this sexually transmitted disease, that should be known to these people. The student, here I am going to discuss about a technique, and that is amniocentesis technique. So this technique is generally known as a fetal sex determination uh, test technique. So it is a kind of a fetal sex determination which is based on the chromosomal pattern that is found in the fetal cell. So you know very well that the fetal cells, it is surrounded, or you can say the developing embryo is surrounded by a amniotic fluid. So what the doctors do, they took the sample of this amniotic fluid and analyze the fetal cell and dissolve the substances. So due to this technique, the cases of female feticide, it is increases in our society. Earlier, this technique is a boon to the medical world. It is earlier used to detect some genetic disorders such as Down syndrome, hemophilia, and sickle cell anemia. But nowadays, some of the persons, they are using this technique for some illegal purpose, and that is to determine the sex of the baby. And when they know the sex of the baby and they found that the fetus is later going to convert into a female child, then they generally try to kill that female child, and this disturbs the male and female ratio in the society. So earlier this amniocentesis, it is a boon to our society, but nowadays it becomes a curse. Okay, students, here I am going to discuss about the aspects of the reproductive health which needs special attention. So first point is educating married couples. We should educate the married couples or those people who are of the marriageable age about the various available birth control options, so that in future they can use these birth control options to maintain an appropriate family size that they deserve. Then how they can take care of the pregnant mother, that they should know. Okay, what are the things that should be focused after the delivery of the fetus by the mother, that is postnatal care of the mother as well as the child. The various types of vaccination, immunization programs they should know. And what is the importance of breastfeeding? How this first milk that comes from the mammary gland of the mother, it is rich in antibodies, that should be known to all these people of marriageable age, so that they should take care of these things. Second one is we should give a special attention that equal opportunity should be provided to both male and the female child. Equal opportunity means opportunities with respect to education, with respect to respect in the society, equal things to grow in the society in any of the aspects. So people should not discriminate male and female child. They should know that the male and female ratio should be maintained in the society. Otherwise, problem should be there. And third one is control of the human population. People should know why there is a need to control the human population. What are the disadvantages of increasing population to our country? And they should have to prefer small families. Means they should have 1 or 2 children in their family only, so that they can satisfy the demands of their children and live happily. And fourth point is introduction of the sex education. So students of adolescent age, they should have special chapters related to sex education in their curriculum so that they are well aware about the changes, that is behavioral and hormonal changes that are occurring during the adolescent age, as well as what are the various type of sexually transmitted diseases, what are their mode of transmission, how they can be cured, how they spread. They should know about that, and they should also know that they have to maintain safe and hygienic sexual practices. So all the information related to their reproductive organs should be known to them. That's why these sex education related topics should be there in their syllabus as chapters. And next point is proper information about the safe sex, adolescent related problems, the various kind of problems that the adolescent face. Then sexually transmitted diseases, what are their causal organisms, what are their mode of transmission, what are the preliminary symptoms, how we cure them, that should known to them. And information about a dreadful disease that is still not curable in our society, and that is AIDS, acquired amino deficiency syndrome. People should know everything about AIDS. Then they should also know about the different techniques of birth control. What are the various contraceptive methods available to them? How they can maximally use this contraceptive method for safe and hygienic sexual practices. How can they maintain a small family size by making use of these contraceptive methods? How can they give spaces between different births of their children, that they should research on various reproduction related areas. So new research on the contraceptive methods, the various techniques that are related with problems which are generally faced by the marriageable couple, various research related with in vitro techniques that should be done so that more and more modernized methods should be introduced that can handle easily the problems which are related with reproduction. Yes, student, here I am going to tell you the reason of the population explosion. So there are various reasons that is behind the population explosion. You know very well, after independence, there are so many advancement in the medical field, as well as country also undergoes development. So earlier there are so many cases of mortality rate of the child and the mother, but after independence there is a decline in the mortality rate due to increased and improved medical facilities. And there is also a decline in the infant mortality rate because so many facilities are available in the hospital, modernized techniques are there, and intensive immunization programs are done by the healthcare centers. So because of these, there is increase in our population. So decline in the maternal mortality rate is the another reason also. And there is an increase in the number of people of reproductive age. And increase in food production. You know that our country has done green revolution. Now our country is able to produce large amount of food for our population that is growing at an alarming rate. So very few deaths are there in the country due to starvation or famine, which are the earlier causes of death of people before independence. And there is an increase in the lifespan of the people, that is increase in longevity. So all of these reasons, they are the reasons that are responsible for population explosion. Yes, student, here I am going to discuss the improvement of the reproductive health in the past 50 years. So I have collected some data from our book. And first one is large scale immunization programs, child immunization programs. For example, Pulse Polio Abhiyan, you know very well. So World Health Center has given us a certificate that we are now at the point we are going to end this polio disease from our country. Then maternity and child health, we have done improvement in the maternity and child health cases. And there is increased use of easy and availability of contraceptives in our country. So various contraceptive options that are easily available to the peoples of marriageable age, adolescents, or those who are married. And there is a decline in the death rate of the infant because of advancement in the medical facilities, modernized techniques, and surgical techniques, you can say. Increased awareness among people about the reproduction related aspects. Now, our people, they are much more aware about the various reproduction related problems. They can easily handle these problems. They can meet with doctors and nurses. They share the problems related to reproduction with them, and they cure these sexually transmitted diseases. They should also aware about the family planning programs because so many NGOs, so many government aided agencies, they are involved in disseminating information about the family planning programs in the form. They are conducting some dramas, nukkad nataks in the villages, in the cities, to disseminate the information that how a small family is a better family than uh, a large family, or you can say a composite family. Yes, students, here I am going to tell you about a little about the contraceptive methods. So contraceptive methods are generally those methods which are used as birth control options by people who want to maintain the appropriate family size. So they are the available birth control options. So there should be certain properties that are present in an ideal contraceptive. So here I am going to discuss that an ideal contraceptive should be user friendly. It should be easily available in the market. And third point is it is effective and reversible with least side effects. It should not interfere with the sexual desires or any sexual act of the user. So it totally provides a privacy to the user. So these properties should be there in the ideal contraceptive. Yes, students, here I am going to tell you the strategies to improve the reproductive health. So the first point is introduction of sex education should be there in the schools, so that the students should be well aware about the functioning of their sexual organs, what kind of sexually transmitted diseases are there, how these students they protect themselves from these sexually transmitted diseases, what are the problems that they have to be faced when they do unsafe sexual relationships with multiple sexual partners. They should have proper knowledge about the contraceptive options available. And second point is to discourage children from believing in myth. Sometimes some antisocial elements are there in the society. They misguide the students about these sexual aspects. So such kind of misconceptions about sex-related aspects should be avoided, should be discouraged. And third one is proper information about the reproductive organs, changes during the adolescent period should be should be there in the syllabus of the adolescent, so that the adolescent know everything about these changes that are happening in their body during that age. Then children should know what are safe and hygienic sexual practices, how they can maintain safe and hygienic sexual practices, how they can protect themselves from sexually transmitted disease. Yes, student, among the strategies we have educating people about the problems due to uncontrolled population growth. That why there is a need to control the population. If the population increasing day by day, then what are the problems that you are going to face in future? Then there are so many social evils like sex abuses are there with the children, sex related crimes are there with the women. We should educate the people about this sex related abuses and sex related crimes, what are happening in the society. And next is we should educate the fertile couples, the couples of the marriageable age, that they should know about the available birth control option so that they can maintain a small family size, which can easily meet the financial needs. We should create awareness among the family members that how they can take proper care of the pregnant mother. We should also create awareness about the postnatal care of the mother as well as the child. We should educate the mothers that what is the importance of breastfeeding, how the milk that is first comes in the mammary gland of the mother after delivery is rich in antibodies. That should be known to the modern ladies so that we can encourage them to do breastfeeding for their child. Then equal opportunities should be there for the male and the female child. That should be tell to the society members. We should aware the society members about the sex ratio, that we should maintain a healthy sexual ratio between the male and the female child so that the sexual abuses, sexual crimes can be discouraged. So here you are saying the various types of contraceptive methods. So we have divided the contraceptive methods into 5 broad categories. These may be natural and traditional methods. Second one are the barrier methods, and third is the intrauterine devices, which are commonly known as IUDs. Then we have oral pills, injections, and implants. And last, we are going to discuss about the surgical methods that are of 2 types: vasectomy in case of male and tubectomy in case of female. Yes, student, among the natural methods, we have different type of natural methods which act as the contraceptive methods. Number one is a periodic abstinence. So what is this periodic abstinence? So here what the couples do, the couples they avoid coitus from day 10 to 17 of the menstrual cycle, because in between these days, 10 to 17 days of the menstrual cycle, ovulation is generally expected. So if they avoid any kind of sexual intercourse during these days 10 to 17, then there is a less chances of conception by the women. Second one is withdrawal and coitus interruptus. So what is this? Male partner withdraws his penis from the vagina just before ejaculation to avoid insemination of the sperms. So this also prevent unnecessary birth. And third one is lactational amenorrhea. So what is lactational amenorrhea? Menstruation, it remains absent and thus ovulation during intense lactation. When the mother give birth to the child, then at that time the menstruational cycle it gets interrupted and ovulation is also not there. So the conception, chances of conception is nil during this period. Yes, student, the next type of contraceptive methods are the barrier methods. So here the barrier methods, the ovum and the sperms, they are prevented from physical meeting with the help of some barriers. And such barriers, they are available for both male and female, and they are commonly known as condoms. So what are these condoms? These are the barriers which are made up of thin rubber and latex sheet, and they are used by the male partners to cover their penis and female partners to cover their vagina and cervix just before coitus, so that the ejaculated semen from the male, it cannot enter into the female reproductive tract. So there are different types of condoms available, but Nirod is the popular condom that is used by males. The next is a diaphragm, cervical caps, vaults. These are the barriers. They are also made up of rubber, and they are generally used by the females to cover the cervix during sexual intercourse. Spermicidal creams, jellies, and foams are also used, and this increases the contraceptive efficiency of these barriers. Yes, student, next contraceptive methods are the intrauterine devices. So these intrauterine devices, they are highly effective and popular contraceptive methods. And these methods, they're generally used by some expert nurses and doctors. And these expert nurses and doctors, they insert some specific type of tools, you can say, which are inserted in the vagina of the female. The presently available intrauterine devices are the non-medicated IUDs. And the examples are lip loops, copper releasing IUDs, which are of copper T, copper 7, multi-load 375, and the hormone releasing IUDs, which are progesterone, LNG20. So what are the advantages of these IUDs? These IUDs, they increases phagocytosis of the sperms within the uterus. And if they are copper releasing IUDs, then these copper ions released by these IUDs, they suppress sperm's motility. And in this way, the fertilizing capacity of the sperm, it decreases. So there is less chances of conception here. The hormone releasing IUDs, it makes the uterus unsuitable for implantation of the fertilized ovum. And it also hostile the sperms in the cervix. And the next one is IUDs, which helps to delay pregnancy in females. And they are also very much beneficial because they are used by females to give space to their children. Yes, students, there are various type of oral contraceptives available. So these oral contraceptives, they are in the form of small doses, which contains either a progestogen hormones or progestogen estrogen combinations in a specific ratio. So they are generally used by the female partners in the form of tablets. That's why they are also known as pills. So these pills, they are generally taken for a period of 21 days and starting with the first 5th day of the menstrual cycle. Then after a gap of 7 days, it has to be repeated in the same pattern till the female desire to have a child or desire to prevent contraception. At that time, she can use, otherwise she can avoid.